Thank you so much for joining us today. I'm Linda Fitzgerald. I'm an advisor with the Small Business Development Center, and I am a host today for Lani Lott's webinar on social media marketing in a pandemic. We're very glad that you're here with us. I hope you brought a notepad. The Shasta-Cascade Small Business Development Center is the name of the development center Lani and I are a part of, and that particular SBDC supports Shasta and Trinity County. If you are in either one of those counties, you can work with an advisor like Lani, specifically one-to-one for your business purposes. And this is a nonprofit organization. We provide confidential, no-cost advisory and training services to small businesses. We're funded by the Small Business Administration as well as Humboldt State University. I'm going to start off with our disclaimer. The information provided in this webinar and any supplemental materials provided to registrants are intended for educational and informational purposes only and does not constitute professional, financial, or legal advice. No registrant should act or fail to act on the basis of any material contained in this webinar without obtaining proper financial, legal, and other professional advice specific to their situation. The Northern California Small Business Development Center and its host, the HSU Sponsored Programs Foundation, specifically disclaims any liability, loss, or risk, personal or otherwise, which is incurred as a consequence directly or indirectly of the use and application of any of the information presented in this webinar. And now I would like to introduce to you Lani Lott, and I bet you've probably been to one of our webinars before. I see some familiar names, so let me get Lani to get us started. Thanks for coming in, Lani.
Thank you, Linda, and good morning, everyone. November 17th, oh my gosh, and the pandemic is still with us. So today we're going to be talking about, it's actually the top 8 social media platforms. I have 10 in there, I've dropped a couple off, but the top 8 social media platforms businesses are using during the pandemic and really prior, and then going to be using after. I'm going to give a high-level overview of each platform, features that are probably particular for your business. These are social media platforms directly for business, and then some of the bells and whistles that are included with each one, and insights and matrix. Then I'm going to talk about some best practices for connecting with your customers during the pandemic and helping drive revenue. And then we'll have time for questions. At any time, down in the bottom over by the, you can type in at any time if you have a question. If you can't see it in your top or your bottom bar, whichever it says, that go over those 3 dots and you can hit on chat and it'll be typed in there. And Linda will be monitoring the chat box. And I will have plenty of time. This is an 1.5-hour webinar, and we will have plenty of time for some interaction at the end. So this is me. I have been, I own my own business, consulting business, 25 years working in economic development and downtown revitalization, and then 20 years plus advising for small business development centers across Northern California. And I cover most aspects of business advising, business planning, pre-venture, startups, seasoned businesses, marketing. So anyways, I love what I do, and I am so honored to be able to be on contract with the Shasta-Cascade Small Business Development Center for the last 8 years, working with fabulous advisors, a great team, and all the wonderful businesses through Shasta and Trinity County. So let's just jump right in. So social media marketing. I like to remind folks and my clients that, social media, and I'm going to stop before I get going, because I talk so much with my hands that you don't really need to see me jumping all around here. So I'd like to remind my clients that social media marketing is the process of creating content that you have tailored to the context of each individual social media platform in order to drive user engagement and sharing. So each, and there is not one social media platform that's better over another one. They all have different features and businesses. I like to tell businesses, find the one or two that speak to your customer base, your target market, your consumer. Where are your folks mostly living online? Which social media marketing appeals to your specific demographic or interest, or really supports your industry? And sometimes this takes a while. I know a lot of businesses like to dabble in like 2 or 3 or 4 or 5, and then zeroed it down to, you know, a couple that really work, and they really develop that specific platform. So there isn't one that's better than the other. They all have different uses, different features. Most of them allow you to advertise, and a majority of them have the ability to see how they're performing from the back end of that platform. That's been the beauty of social media since it has been launched in the last probably 15, 20 years, is that it gives you as a business owner a snapshot in and seeing how your content is performing, how your audience is interacting with it, how your advertising campaigns are working, are they meeting the goals? So that is one of the most effective and probably the biggest beneficial of having at least one social media platform connected to your business marketing strategy, so you can really see how people are interacting with your content and your advertising and your products and your online sales. So social media success is really equal to managed online presence plus content marketing plus advertising plus influence. And it is probably the fastest growing trend in the world, in the history of the world. And that is due, you know, we really have seen it come, of course, during the pandemic, because it's been digital marketing has been one of the primary ways that our businesses are in communicating and continuing to interface with their customers. So there are several, the matrix are really designed for business to consumer. These are Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook Messenger, Pinterest, Snapchat, if people still use that, and Twitter. And then we could go down into other ones that are, you know, out there. And they're always continuously kind of popping up here and there. But the very popular ones, these are for you as a business connecting to your consumer, or your consumer connecting to you. So we call these B2C. And then for business to business networking, B2B networking, LinkedIn is the king. This is where you connect businesses to business, colleague to colleague. And it's not only, LinkedIn isn't only, my dog is barking, I'm so sorry. It isn't only used for finding a job or finding employees, but it's really about creating a network within your industry, within your with your colleagues, with sales folks, reaching out to businesses for networking, sales networking. And then the last area that we look at when we're talking about social media marketing and matrix is managing your online reputation. And especially if you're in the hospitality field or industry sector, or even restaurants, hotels, organizations that support an attraction, a venue, even though many are still slowly opening, even events, organizations that put on large events. Your review sites are very key, and there's a great deal of them, and Yelp and TripAdvisor are one of those, you know, top ones that we know about. But you can have reviews on your Facebook business page. Google My Business is another for managing your online reputation, and everyone should be on Google My Business. This provides the local business information, as well as they're adding continuously adding some new features, and we'll go into those a little deeper. So here are the 15 most popular social media networking sites. And this was from Dream Grow, and it was updated in August of 2018. I have not found a more updated one yet. I'm still looking, I'm searching for it. Are still in the millions. You know, Facebook is the king still, with YouTube right behind it, one of Google's most powerful search engines. And then Instagram, which is owned by Facebook, is underneath that. And then we have Ozone, which I'm not really sure about. Then Twitter's there, Pinterest. LinkedIn is a little lower, and I would imagine that's a lot higher right now because that many businesses have gone on to LinkedIn, really beefed up their profile, and then LinkedIn is offering lots of different features for advertising and many other type of features for businesses. So Facebook is still on the top of the social media platforms and reaches a wider variety of users demographically than any other social network. And it opened up to everyone in 2006. Prior to that, Facebook was a closed community, which I found very interesting. So it really has been around for 14 years. So it's has 1.4 billion daily users. That's daily users. People between 25 and 35 years old are the largest segment of US users. Boomers are the fastest growing age demographic. And then 71% of US adults use Facebook, and it is the most popular social network site in rural areas. So Facebook is still very powerful. Many people use it for personal uses, for personal reasons, to connect with family, to connect with past maybe for high school, you went to high school, reconnecting with old friends you hadn't seen for a while, but it still is very, very strong for businesses too. So when we talk about Facebook, what do you use Facebook for? What are some of the ways that you can use Facebook to reach your audience and connect with your customers? And then what are some of the business features? So on the left-hand side, you use Facebook to share trending topics in your industry. Promotion of your products and services, of course. So we're trending topics in your industry. We're thinking about educating our consumers, letting them know maybe what's new trends. And then we're backing that up with organic content about how to promoting the products and services that will benefit their life, make their life easier, enhance their life. Then we have, right now, we're sharing a lot on safety and health protocols because of the pandemic. That was not something that we were really doing way back in a year ago, right? Possibly restaurants were talking about their rating that they got in California. Restaurants would get a rating from the health department, and if they got an A or A+, that was a high standard, or standards of an award you received, the highest standard, or you were the top performer. But we really didn't dive into safety and health protocols until after March 17th. And it's going to continue for a while. Our consumer is still a bit timid, and they're slowly coming back, of course, as the tiers in California change. We go from a different color. In California, they're color coded. In other states, it may be different. Those safety and health protocols will kind of change too. So it's really, really important, no matter what social media platform you use or communication, whether that is with email marketing, whether it's your website, whether that's Facebook Messenger, however you're communicating with your customers, you need to update and let them know this. Are you open? What are your hours? How are you really protecting their health and safety as well as your own employees? Behind the scene clips are popular. People love to see what's going on behind the scenes. A lot of artisans and the creative community will use Facebook for doing videos on how they're making the product. Etsy is really great about that. Etsy is that third-party program where you can have an online store, connect it to your website, and you can put videos on your Facebook page of you showing how you're making the product. Educational content, you can run contests, photos, videos, you can do deals, discounts Facebook introduced during the pandemic a very easy way to offer online gift cards. And if you haven't taken advantage of that, please do. It is, they connect it to, I think there's 3 or 4 or 5 different platforms they connect it to, one being Square. So people, you can get go right from your Facebook page, get a gift card right to your shop or your business. And then the features, and they're continuously adding new features, or as I like to say it, playing around with ones that already work really well and changing things. So with that said, as you probably have noticed, Facebook just enhanced, I guess is the right word, their new forward-facing format, right? It's very different. It's a little larger. The font is, and things are organized much differently. And so it's taken me a bit to get comfortable and try to find everything again, because from the back end of your Facebook business page, you get really comfortable navigating and updating and seeing where you can schedule post and all those things. And they've changed the format. So now, it's a little different, and you have to kind of have that little bit of a learning curve. So with, oh, my dog, must be the UPS man. So Facebook Live, it might be worth your marketing time and money on Facebook Live. It quickly engages people, and they watch it longer than alternative video content. Best practices for live is promote when you're going to be live, where and why through other marketing channels. You need to have pretty good sound and lighting, excuse me. Think of a newscast. It's real time. So even though it's a great feature, you have to kind of remember it's live. It's like real time. And even though you can record it like we are right now with this Zoom webinar, Facebook Live is really designed to engage people in that moment. So many businesses use it for, right now they're using it like, okay, every Thursday we're going to be live and we're going to be featuring new deals and steals on our Facebook Live format, and plug in, and you can be eligible to win something, or just that day during the live will be offering a discount. A lot of events are using, our organizations that used to do events in person are using Facebook Live. They're walking around, they're maybe interviewing businesses. So there does need to be some thought behind it, because you have to promote it. You have to get people to come to your Facebook Live. And so you have to push it out through your social media platforms, through your email marketing, in your store, if you're open in bricks and mortar, and maybe with a little flyer in your that goes in every package. So however, you've got to invite people to come live that time. So it is very, very engaging. And I would encourage you to kind of maybe do some research if you're thinking about doing a live Facebook Live event, kind of see what other businesses are doing, kind of, plug in and watch one and see how they do and how they, get the group really excited. Facebook Shop is new. That was just launched in May. And I've done a webinar just on that, an hour, digital marketing hour. I just went through the whole how to set it up. There is a great feature on it. You can do a test shop. So there's 2 ways to do Facebook Shop, and Facebook really created it so that people could shop and purchase right from the app versus having to go to, e-commerce site, to your website. Now you can, if you don't have an e-commerce site, you can actually load your products or services, right to the shop, and people can shop right from the Facebook app. Or you can promote your products through Facebook Shop, and then when they're ready to purchase, if you already have an e-commerce site on your website, then it links over to that. So it's not, you don't have to have 2 different types of, e-commerce and all of that set up. It can just go right to your one shop, online shop, where you monitor everything and get, see what's being purchased, so you can, package it, ship it, all of that. Really great feature. It's a great feature if you want to just test, see if your products have interest. Now, again, how do you let people know you have a Facebook shop? You've got to, again, promote it through your other marketing channels. Put a link on your website, put it out through your email marketing, push it out through your Facebook business page, as well as maybe your other social media marketing. And the thing about Facebook Shop is that it's very, very easy to then connect it to Facebook advertising to do an ad campaign around your shop. Facebook Stories, they're just recently becoming more popular. They are not as smooth as Instagram stories, but they are becoming popular. More businesses are using them, especially if they are not using the Instagram platform. So Facebook Stories are little snippets of a little video or a series of posts, and it vanishes in 24 hours, but you can archive them just like you can in Instagram. Facebook groups, yes, Facebook business groups. Again, Facebook groups create a private or public type of community of your customer base who really loved your business. And so you create a business group, and then you maybe provide some insider information. And groups are really about engaging the consumers, engaging your group members with, you're not pushing content out, you're just kind of managing the conversation. Maybe you use your group to test a new product, to ask some questions. If you're thinking about some changes in your business model, you may want to ask your group. I know some retailers use groups, and they'll use the group as maybe having if you belong to the group, they'll provide some pre-deals or pre-promotional opportunities to the group before they make it just to the general public. Some service-based businesses use the groups for managing if they're having difficulty with any of their services or their products, or kind of the how-dos and the warranties. And there's lots of different ways with groups. And I've done on Facebook Business Group 101 and 201, and there's a lot of features within the group that is different than your Facebook business page. And then Facebook, of course, has advertising. It has where you can boost certain types of posts that are high performing, as well as set up full-on ad campaigns for pushing out products and services, your business and maybe push them over to your online shop if you're just launching an e-commerce, or you have e-commerce. So they do have quite a detailed Facebook advertising. And then Facebook Manager, it is a separate platform from Facebook, and think about it as Facebook's email. It provides a private way for you to reach customers, as well as them to direct message you. And many, many businesses are using that right now during the pandemic because of folks not being able to come down and actually see you at your place of business or your shop. So, or they just don't feel comfortable yet venturing out, so they can direct message you. You can then answer that question, or you can then say, hey, can I give you a call? And it's all private. And so really watch all of your social media platforms. Always, always, always respond immediately, as quickly as you can. So if you are going to use that feature and you're going to have it pop up, Facebook introduced a few kind of responses for when people come to your Facebook page and you're not there, or it kind of pops up and says, hey, thank you for visiting my page. If you have any issues, just go ahead and type in here, and I'll get back to you within 24 hours. And then you, as a business owner managing your page, or your team, if you are fortunate enough to have someone who manages your page, then they need to have the notifications on and be able to respond quickly, because digital, that's our world right now, and we're kind of impatient. So if we have a question, we want to have an answer to it very quickly, especially if you don't have your phone number anywhere on your social media or your websites. And then Facebook Marketplace is different than Shop. You think of Facebook Marketplace as kind of like a Craigslist where you can list products, but you can't sell directly. You have to, do it a little bit different. It's not like selling directly through the shop or through your commerce site. And then, so the insights page summary, there's quite a few ways that you can really dig into the data and see how your page, see how you're advertising, your shop, see how it's all performing. And we could go do, a whole hour on this. So the page summary section will give you a quick snapshot of activity on your page. This is like a snapshot of a back end of my page. And it's just showing you how many likes you had during a period of time. This is for like 1 month. You can also export data on the top corner to give you more detailed results. And most people don't really realize that with exporting the data, you can have a lot more deeper type of insights. And then you can use that to kind of look at with your team and say, okay, how are we doing? What kind of content was really highly performing? What was our reach? What days and times did people really tune into our Facebook page? And it can help you kind of dial in your strategy so that you can continue to be much more effective and efficient with your time, with your postings on Facebook. And then split into 3 options. You have page data, audience details, post data, impressions, and video data, which are views. And then you can export up to 6 months of data at a time in one report. So if you haven't really looked at this export data, go in there and check it out and look at it. And then of course, your insights on your back end of your business page, you can go in there and see lots of different type of insights. You can see how you post your page, videos, all kinds of insights. So Instagram, let's talk a little bit about Instagram. Instagram, again, is one of the most popular social platforms, especially with millennials and Generation Z. I don't know, though, I do see some baby boomers using it. I'm on it because my 24-year-old is on it, and she uses it quite a bit for personal. And then my daughter, who lives in Grass Valley, who has a roofing business, she uses it periodically. She's more on Facebook and then connects her Instagram. But Instagram is about pictures. It is a photo-driven platform, and it is specifically, even though you can use it on desktop, it really manages better and is easier to use with a mobile. So you got to become comfortable with your mobile device, being able to navigate that mobilely. Doesn't mean that you have to, if you take a picture, you don't have to just post it right away on Instagram. You can come back and take time on your mobile and add some features to it, create a story. But it really does work best on mobile. On the desktop, I have not found it easy. It's just really kind of bizarre, but you can kind of have your Instagram on desktop now. There are some third-party programs or apps you can purchase that make it easier for you to use your desktop Instagram account, use your Instagram account on your desktop, but it is really primarily for the mobile. 1 billion people use Instagram every month. 5 million people use Instagram stories every day. 1/3 of the most viewed stories are from businesses. 63% of users log in at least once a day, and users spend an average of 28 minutes per day on Instagram. So there's a lot of people that are using it and they spend time on it. So what do you share on Instagram? Well, picture shots, of course. Hashtags Instagram is all about hashtags. And that's the way that you extend and expand your reach. Hashtags kind of help you categorize your pictures into different categories or to reach different audiences through the search feature of Instagram. So, I always say that you can use up to 30 hashtags on Instagram with any given post, but we typically recommend between 5 and 6. One should be your branded hashtag. One could be where you're located. If you're in a, cute little quaint community, or even in a county, or in a, a big city. And then from there, then you decide for each post on Instagram, what are you trying to really communicate? Is it about a product? Is it about an experience? Is it about an emotion? Is it about an attraction? Is it about what? And then you kind of design your other 4 hashtags around that. You can go live with your stories now. We always could. Stories let people know when you have a story. Again, it only lasts for 24 hours on your Instagram, but you can archive it. And then you can create highlights. Those are those little buttons that are, if you looked at an Instagram page or Instagram account, you'll see those little buttons at the top, and that are not stories, but they're highlights. And so they're categorizing, businesses are categorizing their stories from archiving. So let's say you had events, maybe you had a certain year. I know a lot of people will put the highlight as a year, and then all the posts that were really key, they'll put them in that highlight. You have to have on your settings on your Instagram business page, you need to have archived activated in order to save stories in archived. Otherwise, your stories disappear from your Instagram account too, and you can't retrieve them. Creative features in stories. There's stickers, geolocation, polls, Instagram or Facebook, because Instagram's owned by Facebook, created some great new stickers at the beginning of the pandemic about thank you, support local, order now for restaurants. So, there's lots of features. You can do different colors. And again, easy to do, takes time. You have to really think about what you're trying to communicate with your Instagram post and stories, especially with your stories. Kind of think of it being like a storyboard. Are you trying to show over a series, like a DIY through stories, or maybe restaurants trying to show some of their meals that they have, or their dessert menu? Retail, kind of showing your new products. Service-based businesses in your story, maybe you're actually showing, I saw a plumbing business that was actually showing them how they repaired a leak. And again, you've got to have the content, you've got to take the photos or have the videos, and then you've got to do the story, and then you've got to hashtag it, and then you've got to, post it, and then you've got to manage it and look at it and see how it's performing and see where it was shared. Did you get a lot of reaction, engagement? Did you get some comments? Always responding to comments, just like on Facebook. Always respond to all your comments. Thank people for commenting it. Tag them, tag other businesses in it, tag the person that commented. Oh, thank you, Lani, for commenting on your experience at my store. I really appreciate it. Whatever it is just good, best practice protocol. Build anticipation. You can share by, building anticipation. A new launch of a product, you're going to be reopening. What are you doing for the holidays? Are you going to have a customer loyalty month? Are you going to be participating in Small Business Saturday? Are you going to be participating in Artist Sunday, which is the day after Small Business Saturday, which is the 2 days after Thanksgiving, right? Are you going to be doing something for Black Friday, for Cyber Monday? Again, designing your marketing strategy across all of your marketing channels and social media platforms to drive them to anticipation, to either encourage engagement, purchase, participate, and etc. Offer exclusivity. And then IGTV is the videos for Instagram. And it's interesting because they were saying that you know, it's one of the features that is not as popular on Instagram. Therefore, if you decide to want to look and using it, you may have higher performance or overwhelming like Facebook videos. So it allows your fans easy access to new content. Followers will also be alerted when you post something new on IGTV. It acts as an extra platform to showcase your video content, meaning that it's more likely to be seen. It can be incorporated into your news feed with 1-minute previews, increasing visibility. And then Instagram users can leave comments on IGTV videos, which will be visible to others, as well as like them providing valuable social proof. And then Instagram, I was a couple months ago, maybe 3 or 4 months ago, I don't know, time's all blurring together, introduced Reels, REELS, which is their kind of short, fun little videos, kind of like TikTok, only from Instagram. I am not seeing as many businesses using them, more personal, funny things, you know, throwback Thursday kind of, you know, remember when you were in 8th grade and you went roller skating, and did you wear your, you know, this or whatever. But Reels are, that is what the Reels are. And Reels you'll see in the search on Instagram, you'll see like a little movie, not a projector, but more of a reel, like a film reel. And you'll know that's a reel. So your Instagram business profile, in a business profile, you have the opportunity to have contact information and link in your bio. You have detailed matrix again, like Facebook. You can look at the back end of your business Instagram account and see how it's performing. You can link your Instagram account with your Facebook business page, but you can't connect your Facebook business page with Instagram. So it's Instagram to Facebook. Goes that direction. You can have shoppable post on Instagram. Now, to have shoppable post, you must have a business Facebook business page, and you can only do this shoppable post on desktop. That as Instagram moves forward over in the next couple months, in the next year, it's going to become easier, and they're going to be improving upon that. I think it's kind of a test right now to see if people are going to really shop directly from the app. So, you know, watch for that or look at that. Then there's advertising, all kinds of advertising opportunities. Again, like in Facebook, it'll say sponsored or promoted in the post. And then, of course, stories. And we could go on for hours on stories. So that is your business profile. And then, so the Instagram Insights, there's 3 components. You can look at content, a quick snapshot of recent posts and stories, activity, overview of reach, impressions, and interaction. And then the audience offers insights into age, gender, location of followers, and the hours and days they are most active. So here is where you would find it. Right here. This is my business page. I have a few more followers. I don't use Instagram as much as I can because I'm not out in the field, and really you guys don't want to just see me sitting working at my desk or behind my remote webinar screen. So usually when I'm out in the field and I'm visiting different communities, I'm taking pictures of great, you know, window displays and beautiful public open space features, and maybe businesses that have really cool signage, maybe gateways, and I post all of that, but I haven't been out for 8 months. So my Instagram page is a little thin right now. Whoops, let me go back. Whoops, going the wrong way. Sorry, guys. Got a wild finger here on my moving arrows. So right here is the promotions. That would be where you would be looking at what you're doing for advertising. Insights is the back end. How is it performing? And then, of course, here are your, and I don't have my stories right here to show you. This would be my whole matrix of looking at all my posts. And then this would be my videos if I did IGTV. So let's move to Twitter. Twitter's an interesting platform. Again, it's a very fast-moving platform. Content that thrives on this channel is topical, about a topic, and very concise. It's right in the moment. The demographics, there's a lot of people on Twitter, 330 million active monthly users. Americans are the largest percentage of Twitter's user base. 44% of Americans 18 to 24-year-olds use Twitter. Now, my youngest daughter is 24. She's still on it. She's not as active now because she's in between jobs. When she was actually working for a festival company, she was tweeting a lot about different musicians at different venues, different festivals where she was at. She was really promoting and tweeting, songs, things like that. Now that that's a little bit more difficult, it's interesting to see how her generation, her Twitter handle has changed. 12% of Americans get their news from this platform. And then tweets with hashtags get 100% more engagement. Of course, again, hashtags help categorize it, help you kind of share the tweet to different hashtag groups, and then those folks can go to that hashtag and see other tweets. So that's kind of, same as Instagram, you're trying to get your post or your tweet into that community where folks are going and searching for different topics. So use Twitter to share news about your destination or your business. If you've got some new news, if you've got, you're going to have, I don't know, a special opening, you've installed some new protocols, you're reopened, your employees maybe are coming back, you've just received recognition, just in the moment. And again, you have very few characters to tweet, so you have to be very concise. Informational content does well on Twitter. Content that aligns with trending hashtags and videos do really well. And like any of the social media platforms, from a personal use, you can go down the rabbit hole and spend hours looking at different tweets and following hashtags. So when you think about your business strategy, who are you trying to reach, and what are you trying to communicate with your tweets, with your content? And retweets are very key. You want to get retweets because that means that someone really liked your tweet, one of your followers, and they've retweeted it to their new audience, and then they'll retweet it or comment on it, or so we call it shares in Facebook, Instagram, retweeting in Twitter. And so the business features for a Twitter account is you can have private direct messaging, you can advertise, you can have a special feature for consumer feedback. There's things like Twitter list, where you can go on there and actually be part of a list, which helps you kind of follow other types of tweets or organizations or businesses. And then analytics, of course, just like the other two platforms. And to get to your analytics, you have to go to more and then click on analytics. So then what you can see there, it contains the top tweet, mention, follower, and media, which could be a photo, video, or a GIF tweet. And then you can go, so you're going to go to more, you're going to go here to analytics, and then it also gives a quick glance at matrix, including tweets sent, impressions, profile visits, mentions, and new followers. Again, if you're using this platform quite a bit, you're probably going to want to go deep into your analytics and see how your tweets are performing. Which tweets perform better, which ones really got retweeted, with how many profile visits did you get, because that means that it's performing, it's reaching a new audience, people, you're getting in front of your potential customers. Okay, let me get down there with that arrow. LinkedIn, the business to business platform. So again, LinkedIn launched in 2002, and it's basically to help professionals network and connect. Since then, it's grown into the internet hub for brands, companies, and professionals of all types to connect, find talent, and share ideas. The demographics, wide, 303 million monthly average active users, 300 plus million companies use LinkedIn, 154 million American workers have profiles, and 57% of users access LinkedIn via their mobile device. Again, because we're, mobile devices, the more they upgrade them, the more high powered they become. And now, with 5G coming out, they're just, convenient. They're always with you. Apps make it easier to navigate instantaneously. You can, you don't have to have, you carry it around and have, high Wi-Fi and a personal hotspot like your desktop. But, it takes some time because if you're like me, my phone isn't the latest and greatest, and my screen isn't as large as some of the new phones. So, it makes it a little harder to kind of make sure you've got all your post words spelled right, you got the right video, it looks professional, because whatever we're doing on social media, email marketing, website, even into your traditional marketing tactics, you always want to make sure that it's as professional as possible and it's supporting your brand, right? So with LinkedIn, you can share videos, blog posts, quick tips, photo updates, company updates, showcase your team, awards and recognition, images featuring statistics, drive registration for events, industry news and research. You can write an article actually on LinkedIn, and write an article of something that's of interest about, showing your expertise about your industry, about your business. You can post a PDF on LinkedIn, or share a presentation. Like we could share this PowerPoint on LinkedIn if you wanted to. So those are some of the features that are not available on the last three social media platforms I just talked about. So LinkedIn is really, again, about a professional network. So I always recommend to my clients, build out your personal profile. So even if you are, to have like I have a LinkedIn professional profile, and in my resume, top and center, of course, is my 20 years of owning my own business. And I talk about that in my resume. Part of my resume is sitting there so folks can look at it, see where I've, learn more about me, see my background. And then, of course, you want to, in your personal profile, you can add your areas of expertise, what you focus on. And then in your business, LinkedIn is all about your business. And the two are, from your personal profile, then you can have your business profile linked right there on your personal profile. People will see it, then they can link right over to the business one. So, think about how you can have it, and it's different than Facebook because our personal pages are about our personal life. With LinkedIn, your personal profile is about your business life and what you have to offer in terms of expertise. But your business is, you as the business owner should be about your passion, right? And your business and everything that's going on in your business. So there's like a little bit more of a crossover and more of a collaboration or support from your LinkedIn personal profile to your LinkedIn business profile. The firewall isn't as black and white as with Facebook. So just to think about that. Now, as a professional consultant, I like my personal profile to be able to connect and find and network with past colleagues or past folks that I've worked with, that I've kind of lost contact with over the 20 years. And so I really am reaching out and reconnecting with those colleagues, because I don't know where some of them have ended up. Some of them have moved around, gone to a different city or organization, and reconnecting with them lets them know I'm still in the industry. My business is still, I'm still doing consulting. And so it's kind of reconnecting with them, so that down the line, if there's an RFP, a request for proposal that comes out, because that's typically how I respond to business opportunities, or if I need to hire someone, I can ask for referrals. And on your business profile, you can ask for recommendations. It can really beef your professional persona. And then on the business side, you can do advertising, you can showcase pages. That means if you have maybe you have your regular, your big overall business, and then underneath that, maybe you have a few other areas that you've gone into that are the sub of your business. You can have showcase pages for those sub areas under your business. You can join LinkedIn groups where you can share ideas and hear what other folks in your industry, in your business industry are doing. And you can, just like Facebook groups, you can then go and be part of that. You can share your personal connections to your business LinkedIn page. So there's lots of different ways. And I do a whole 101 and 201 on LinkedIn, because it's so deep and has so much to offer that you really should be looking at taking advantage of your LinkedIn personal profile as well as your business. So analytics for your business page, you have to click on the me icon at the top of your LinkedIn page, and then you choose your company page under that, and then manage your section, and then there's the analytical tab. And you're going to receive this PowerPoint presentation, as well as a link to this video that we're taping this recording of today's webinar. So you can look at this, go back if you get a little lost, because we're kind of moving through this pretty fast. And again, this is my LL Consulting page. It's under Admin View. And then here's where I'm looking at analytics, the visitors, data on people who visit your page, updates. This would be engagement matrix for content posted on LinkedIn, and then followers. Where is that demographic information about people who subscribe to my page? And then you have the activity dashboard over here. Okay, I'm going to take a drink of water here real quick. I'm just a talking head this morning. So Google My Business. Everyone needs to be on Google My Business. If you have a storefront or an address you put in there, you have to have a physical address for you to be on Google My Business, because they have to send you a postcard. But you don't have to post that necessarily to come, on Google My Business. But Google My Business statistics is 1 in 3 smartphone searches occur right before consumers visit a business or store. So it's a little tricky if you're a home-based business, or right now, if your business is, they've allowed you to make some updates and with the pandemic about what the status is if you're, having to remain closed for the time being. Like for me, I'm a consulting business, and my business is always been, and my home office has always been at my home in my office. But I still put my address on there. So if people were to Google LL Consulting, it would pop up and it would show my address. But, most of the time I am getting and talking with potential clients or my clients via the phone or email. And we always, meet somewhere. I don't bring them to my home office, because that just isn't where I meet for clients. So you have to kind of just think about that. 18% of local searches buy a product within a day. 50% of consumers visit a business within a day after conducting a local search, and 62% of computer tablet users and 72% of smartphone users search locally before visiting a store within 5 miles. Especially now, so that Google My Business is really key. It gives you a lot of they've really improved some of the features or expanded some of the features. They've optimized the Google My Business listing. Add as much information and media as you can, including your business profile photo, the area you serve, your hours, attributes such as, are you disabled friendly? Do you have free Wi-Fi? The day and year you're opened, and a public phone number and website URL. So you really want to build that out, just like on any of your other social media platforms. You really want to build out that home or about feature, so that's current. You have your current hours, your current ways folks can get a hold of you. Same with Google My Business. You can add photos now, you can add videos, there's reviews. They actually have Google My Business messaging. And then buy products now. You can list your products right on your Google My Business profile, optimize your listing using the products feature. The feature is an awesome way to keep customers engaged without leaving your Google My Business listing. And then you can now display all your social media icons and have them link back to your social media icons, including Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Pinterest, SoundCloud, and Tumblr, some of the older ones. So, make sure that you're current. It is a little complicated if you've lost your password or your login. Like all the other social media platforms, they don't have here's a phone number to call if you have issues. You got to go through the help center, and then they don't always respond as quickly. So just kind of take some time, make sure your Google My Business is all up to date. And it is a free tool. So the business appear on Google Search and Maps, and it does again act as a search engine optimization benefit. It does have insights. On your iPhone, you can open the Google My Business app, tap home, and at the top you'll find the number of views, searches, and activities for your listing. And it can tell you how customers are finding your listing, search inquiries or surgery, inquiries, customer actions, direction requests, phone calls, photos, where customers find you on Google. So this is quite entertaining, quite insightful. And so now this is not mine. I wish it was total amount of actions and, with 389 actions in 1 month. And of course, if you're a restaurant or you're a bricks and mortar retail operation, or you have an office, and you're open all the time, you're going to have a lot more action and engagement on Google My Business. I use it all the time just to kind of, who's near me if I needed, like my dog had a little foot, got his toenail caught and it was broken. So I had to find a vet that was open on Saturday that was near me. So that's, the search. And then what pops up, and when you see it, is you're going to see who's on Google My Business that's going to be near you. And then maybe the ones that also have a post might be those who are using the advertising feature, the promoted feature. So again, it's giving you kind of, who's near you and around you for that specific search. YouTube was founded in 2005 by 3 employees who worked at PayPal. And they acquired Google in 2000. And then they started YouTube. And then a year later, it was acquired by Google. And now it's the 2nd largest search engine. I would say those 3 employees are, very thankful for Google for acquiring YouTube. Has 2 billion logged in monthly users. 81% of users are between the ages of 15 and 25-year-olds. People uploaded 500 hours of video every minute. Each visitor spends 11 minutes, 24 seconds per day on YouTube on an average, and it is the second most preferred platform for watching video on TV screens among 18 to 34-year-olds. Now, we at the Small Business Development Center here at Shasta-Cascade, we have our own YouTube channel. So if you were to search Shasta-Cascade SBDC on YouTube, you'll probably see us pop up, and we have our videos are on there, our NorCal Minutes, which are little minute snippets of tips ranging from all topics are on our YouTube channel. So, you know, you could have a YouTube channel. I learned this from Linda. I like to give her credit. You have one video and you load it up on YouTube, and now you have a YouTube channel. And then you can put other videos on there, especially if your business is around showing how-tos or teaching or entertaining. So just to think about YouTube, and then you can use that and connect it to and have it listed on your website, and cross promote it among your other marketing channels. So use YouTube to share behind the scenes product videos, case studies, interviews, all of those things that you want to share that are newsworthy, entertaining. A lot of businesses, when they reopened, were doing some videos about walking them through and showing them how they've made changes in their business for safety and health protocols, and walking them through and actually saying, we're open again. Here's the changes we've made. This is how we're safe. This is our bringing back our employees. So behind the scenes, product videos, you're going to be launching new product, and you're going to show that product coming out into your business, or how to use it. I mean, I one time did a YouTube on, I was having an issue on finding how to change oil or something in my car. I mean, I didn't know anything about cars, so went to YouTube. And there's all kinds. I use it sometimes when I'm trying to figure out something with technology. So YouTube is, where we go to learn and figure something out before we have to actually call and have it repaired, right? So YouTube business features, like I said, you can have your own channel after one video post. You can have subscribers, post-production and editing tools are available. Advertising, YouTube stories, connect Google Analytics with your YouTube channels. Now, I'm not a YouTube specialist, but there is lots of folks who have, really found YouTube to be one of their platforms that have really helped their business grow. Pinterest is the fourth largest social media social network in US, and one of the biggest search engines with more than 2 billion searches each month. It is like, think of it as a huge bulletin board, and that the marketers, most businesses or people who are using Pinterest for marketing really are wanting to target women. Women are one of the highest users of Pinterest, although men are, there too. 335 million monthly users, more than 200 billion pins have been saved on Pinterest. 8 out of 10 moms use Pinterest. Majority of users are of a higher economic base, earning about $75,000 a year, and 85% of pinners, that's what they call them, pinners, are on mobile. So what do we use Pinterest for? A lot of right now, sharing family-friendly content. What do we do with the kids? How do we do birthday parties? Using it to really think about planning, and many moms and dads use it as a planning tool. You collect, you curate, and you share. Topics like decorations, interior design, cooking are huge. Clothing do extremely well. Pinterest page attracts web traffic to be directed to a beneficial place, such as a company's e-commerce website, or links to your products that are for sale on a third-party program like Amazon, Etsy, or Shopify. So a lot of creators use Pinterest to drive traffic over to Etsy. I just did a 1-hour digital marketing on Pinterest, and how people are using that, like to do it yourself type of how-tos, and then they're driving it over to their business page to then purchase the products through e-commerce. Inspiration and tips, guides and itineraries, inspire people. And so, hi. And then Pinterest business features includes the only social media with visual search. Yes. So again, very visual. A variety of pins. You can have promoted pins, rich pins, shop the look pins, lots of different boards. Boards are where you put, you pin what you like. They're the digital analog for mood boards. They're used to group pins around a certain theme or topic. For example, you might create a board for a product launch or a seasonal content. Holidays are huge in Pinterest. They actually have a lot of great tutorials and blogs. Pinterest does blogs, and they have one that just shows you when to start thinking about starting your board for holidays. When does the spring, right now, the holidays, the season from October through December, huge for Pinterest. Everybody is wanting ideas on, from decorating their table to decorating their home to making, buying special gifts for that hard to buy person, or categorizing gifts for small kids, medium kids, teens, husbands, uncles, grandparents. And so businesses that really focus on around that, the holidays, will use Pinterest to drive product purchasing. And then they do have advertising, all kinds of different advertising. And you'll see it, if it's a promoted pin, you'll see that in the pin. You have to let Pinterest know you want to advertise, because they kind of are like, it's not as open as Facebook and Instagram, but you still can promote and market your products through advertising. And then they do have analytics and offer free reporting. To find it, you have to go under the Business Hub. You have to click on Analytics and then Overview to access the dashboard. Now, remember, we're talking business Pinterest. Many folks are using Pinterest for personal. And so if you're going to use it for your business, then you're going to have a business account. And then the Overview section will provide impressions, engagement, link, clicks, and saves. You want to see which ones have been saves. And so down here, this is not my my analytics for my Pinterest, because I don't have an LL Consulting Pinterest, but you can have overview of your impressions. It's telling you for this ad, this was Visit Arizona. Visit Arizona is our, is Arizona's Visit California, but Visit Arizona, because I'm sheltered in place right now there. And this is showing compared to the previous 31 days. Of course, Visit Arizona, they have a very visual, and they're showing images of all the beautiful places. Charlie, where you would want to go and visit, Arizona, just like in California. I'm so sorry. So anyways, this is the analytics for Pinterest. And then the last one, before I get into some of the best practices and then open it up for some questions and comments, is there isn't just one review site. And I found this great comparison of some of the the upper end of review sites, and just thinking about if your business, if you're not using your, already using your Facebook reviews, your LinkedIn review recommendations, any of the social media review sites that are built into your social media platform of choice, and you're then venturing out and also using one of like Yelp or TripAdvisor or Foursquare or whatever it may be, these show you that from a ranking that Google My Business is ranked #1, and this is the average traffic for this review site. And then Amazon is ranked number 3, e-commerce related. Facebook is rated number 4, Yelp is 64, TripAdvisor 118, and it's also giving you what the reviews are best for, like Facebook for any business, Yelp for any business, TripAdvisor for food, restaurant, and travel. Better Business Bureau for any business, Yellow Pages, such a thing, Monta, and then Angie's List, which is around service-based, for plumbers, electricians, handymen, carpet cleaning, and then Foursquare, which is really was very popular, and many are still using Foursquare. I just went to in Phoenix, and they had the food and the organic food and the food products, but then they had a whole outside wing that was just for crafters or for handmade items. And out of the 4 items that I bought, all of them used Foursquare, and they all asked for, come back. The receipt comes back and it asks for a review. And so I gave a review. So, again, you have to have it set up so that once your consumer or your customer purchase it, you ask them for the review, or it automatically is built into your point of sale program to ask for the review. Now, a lot of people say, oh, I don't use reviews, I don't ever look at them. I'm go from word of mouth. Well, word of mouth is reviews. And how do you think the word of mouth people are actually figuring out what business they like originally? Like my 24-year-old doesn't make a decision about anything unless she researches the reviews and looks at them and sees what people are saying, even down to when she just recently needed to get a new practitioner, for a doctor. And she did all the research and looked at the reviews, asked her friends for some referrals, but then she, went way deep into their reviews on their website and on their, if they had social media, she looked at those reviews for that type of business. And I'm like, really, honey, how did you figure out which doctor you want to do? Oh, I looked at the reviews, Mom. Okay. That just tells you the difference in the demographics, right? So here's some best practices. As I've said, think about your social media marketing, especially during the pandemic, because this is how folks are. You're reaching folks, you're pushing out the content. Social media is about daily dripping content, about staying engaged, informing, educating, inspiring, where your website is where you're converting them to either purchase from you or to learn more deeper about your business. Complete each profile to its fullest, and make sure it is current, that you've updated your phone and your hours and you have an email there. Do not make it hard for your customers and potential customers to find you. Find the best time to post to engage your audience. Look at your insights, seeing when most of your current followers are actually engaging with your social media platform. And then think about scheduling your future post or future content around that same time. Play with the times. See if you if they're coming in at noon, that means a lot of them are probably still working remotely or checking their own Facebook pages when they're on their lunch hour, right? Create content roadmaps and calendars. Lay it out so it all works together, and actively manage your account by replying to all comments and messages. So here's a dictionary for you, because I've thrown a lot of terms around, and maybe most of you are seasoned social media professionals, but really engagement is interactions with your post. That's what you're striving for, is engagements, likes, comments, shares. That means that folks are actually taking the time to like your post, comment on it, and then sharing it with their followers, or sharing it with their Facebook or their Instagram followers, or their Twitter handle, or their LinkedIn network. Hashtags We talked about those. Those are designed to organize and categorize content. Reach. Now, this is where, sometimes we go, what's the difference between reach and impressions? Reach is the number of people who see your post. Impressions are the number of times your post is seen. That means that it's been seen by that many, but reach is the number of people who see it. It may drop into their news feed, but if they have not engaged with it with a like, a comment, or share, that means they may have seen it, you don't know. Fans are people who like your page, and followers are people who are following your post. Geotag is the location on a post. Rich pins with information from a website, and then verified, established as an authentic account. So sometimes you'll be asked to, is your social media page, a profile, verified? So that's just some of the terms that I have found to be useful. So what are your next steps after you've listened to me for an hour and 20 minutes, or maybe hour and 15 minutes? Is your next steps as you're thinking about where do you want to go with your social media? Do you want to venture into trying a new platform? Assess the social media platforms you're currently using and consider if they are current and reflect your business today, where we're at after being in the pandemic for 8 months. Take inventory of how each of your social media platforms performed in 2020 and identify any issues or opportunities. Now, remember, you have to create the content. Just sharing content from another business that you're following or another page and never creating organic content that you create, you post, is not the same as just sharing. So your social media is not going to perform as well if you are not creating at least 3 to 4 times a week rich, engaging, organic content. So continue to post organic content, experiment with video and stories, consider some social commerce and ads when your budget allows, and dig deeper into your social media platform analytics. And then start to review your social media marketing goals and begin to think about updating your digital marketing toolbox for 2021. Now, with that said, we don't know what 2021 is going to look like. We all thought that the pandemic would be well behind us by now. Closed street events, events that you may have participated as a vendor, as another outlet, are not opening up. And we're actually seeing a bit of, a surge, and some businesses might need to be rolling back. We're not up to full capacity for our restaurants. We're not able to have, the very packed, rich, full merchandising that we've had. Well, I'm not able to travel out to reach and see my clients. A lot of professional businesses haven't brought back their full staff yet to the office. We're still working remotely. It's harder to be engaged. We at the SBDC, we are seeing some clients in person, but a lot of clients we're continuing to meet remotely with. All of our workshops are still being conducted via webinars. So the world as we know it is changed drastically, and we don't know what it's going to look like in the next year, but we can make some changes. So, think about what worked well in 2020 and continue to kind of grow upon that. And then in your marketing strategy, keep on the back burner some of your more traditional thoughts of your marketing. But for social media, do it really well, and then maybe introduce another one. I always try to recommend to my clients and suggest, don't have a million of them and do nothing really well. Do one really robustly, figure it out, and make sure it's aligned with where your audience or your customer base is living online. And with that, I think it's time to address any questions. I'm going to turn my video back on so you guys can see it's still me here, not my barking dog. Sorry about that, or my husband coming home for lunch and leaving again. So Do we have any questions, Linda?
We don't have any in the chat, but I think some people are waiting. So right now would be a great time for you to turn on your microphone and ask a question. There's so much that you covered, Lani. One thing that I find is really helpful to share with people is LinkedIn is not Facebook.
Exactly.
Can you talk a little about that? Because if people are learning about LinkedIn for the first time and maybe they thought of it in the past as where they look for jobs, I'd love for you to spend a little time talking about how to use LinkedIn that is different than what people do with Facebook.
Okay. Yeah, LinkedIn is really about professional networking, business to business networking. So you as a professional, whether you're a professional entrepreneur that owns their own business or you're a professional manager of a business, you want to think about your personal profile, really talking and integrating and engaging with other like colleagues or other like professionals in your field. So from a personal profile, you really want to build that up around you as a professional and all about what makes you, kind of like your expertise and your background that gives you that place where you can talk about that you're a manager of this store and you had years in retail and this is what you do. So it's really a kind of like a personal professional resume that sits on LinkedIn that talks and gives you credibility, right? As a professional in your field of interest, whether your field of interest is as an entrepreneur or, for me, a consultant that also has her own business. So my personal profile on LinkedIn is my professional profile, and I interact with my colleagues or my partners that sometimes then hire me. Where my business LinkedIn is more geared around being that my business is consulting, and this is, I drive them to my website to learn more about that. And then, but me as the consultant, I beef up my professional profile. Just I'm hoping I'm explaining that. It's hard to explain it without actually going into the back end of a LinkedIn. So as a business owner of a business, you should use Facebook to push out and integrate and interface with your audience and your potential customers. But then on LinkedIn, you should have a personal profile and you should really talk about you as the owner of that business and network with other colleagues. And then you can also have a professional LinkedIn page for your business. Now, for me, I use my Facebook business page to promote what's going on in my industry, where I'm at, maybe conducting a workshop, best practices for downtown revitalization. I don't use my LinkedIn business profile. I use my professional personal profile to talk about what I'm doing and any awards that I received and asking for recommendations, and then reconnecting with colleagues that I've either worked for in the past or I've know from my circle of professional networking. Like being a member of the California Downtown Association, where I knew a lot of folks and we were all in the same industry together. Hopefully that explains it. You can see I was talking with my hands, right?
Feel free to type a question in the chat. I'm happy to read it to Lani for you. I've noticed no one has turned on their microphone to ask a question. Lani, this is a great overview presentation. I know you dive into a lot of these individually with other webinars that you offer. If someone has just watched today and they're trying to decide which tool should I learn first, or do I learn all of them a little bit, what would your advice to them be?
Well, my advice is always, where are your customers? Who are your customer? Who's that demographic? What is their age? Where are they living online? What are the social media that's most attractive to them? I would say try Facebook first. It has the most features and the largest, cross demographics. And people say, well, I don't like Facebook. Well, I don't use it a lot either personally. However, if you find that most of your customers are on Instagram because they're between that age group of 25 to 30, and your business caters itself to lots of different pictures, and it's very, you can really develop that content and be photo driven, then that would be the platform you're going to want to learn. If you're a professional business, like an attorney, or you're a CPA or a bookkeeper or insurance agent, you may want to look at your personal profile and then maybe put a business, because that really drives professional businesses. So, a lot of hair salons, a lot of health and wellness sector business like spas, they'll use Facebook for even making appointments. But then they'll have a backup for Instagram that they'll take pictures of different products and services that they offer, or people coming in and having their hair done. And they'll, if they specialize in coloring, or they specialize in updo or wedding, where if you're an interior designer or you're in the wedding industry, you may find that Pinterest is going to be more of yours, of your social media platform. So there's really not one that is better than the other. So I always like to say, well, this would be a great opportunity to meet with your SBDC advisor. For example, if you're up in Shasta or Trinity County, you can meet with me on a one-to-one basis, and we could walk through and get to know your business a little better, and maybe dial in where you, what social media platform would be of most efficient and effective for your business type. Or if you are located in another county and not in Shasta-Cascade or Trinity County, then you can find, there's an SBDC in almost every county, or in every state, and you could Google that and actually work one-on-one with a business advisor to help you figure that out. I think if you don't like the social media and you're not going to want to do it, then don't consider that one. If you're not comfortable with doing things on your mobile, like Instagram or even Twitter, then don't do those. Figure out which one, first of all, which one is most of your audience going to be on, and then, which one are you going to actually use? Probably really the best advice.
I understand that one. It just can feel so daunting when they watch something like this and you've covered so many different things. How can they learn from some other people that are out there successfully using these tools?
How can they learn from other people?
Mm-hmm. Just what do you think about them finding maybe a business that they can use as a kind of a guinea pig for themselves, something to see what others are doing?
Oh yeah, they can, that's the thing about internet, is that we can research anything and everything. So yeah, look at some non-competing same business types that are maybe in another part of your target your target market area, or your area where you're pulling most of your customers from. And look and see what those businesses, and find a robust one. For example, there's this great business in Visalia. She's a retail business, and she has the most robust Facebook business group, and she's pushing things out all the time. She has like 1,000 people in her Facebook group, and she, actually has a very robust online Facebook presence, but then she pushes over to her website. So yeah, just Google some businesses that are not within your trade area, maybe in your secondary trade area, or in another neighboring county, and just kind of see what those businesses are doing and what kind of posts they're doing. And actually your own business network within your own, close area, if you have some colleagues, meet with them. Or if you have an employee that's younger and they're pretty robust, and talk to them about the different social media platforms that they're using. But again, you got to line it up with your audience and your business type, and then you can look at what other businesses are posting or pushing out, and that'll give you ideas then about what you could do yourself. Because I always suggest, think about, if you're going to post at least 3 times a week on any social media platform you choose, put it in a bucket. What am I going to post on Monday? Educational interest that brings my customer base along about my industry. And then on Friday, it's going to be all a quote. It's going to be something that's happening in the community. You're going to be thanking the community, whatever it is. But, kind of put it in those 3 buckets, and it'll help you then think about the content. The breakdown is social media costs us nothing unless you're going to advertise. So to really post, to have a platform and to post regularly cost us nothing. Where the cost comes is our own time. And so that is where you need to just kind of sit back, lay it out, think about your calendar, what's going on September, October, November, December. What am I going to be wanting to promote? What kind of content can I push out? What am I going to put in my e-marketing? Where am I going to have any in-store, in-person type of promotions? And how do I wrap it all together?
Lani, that brings us to the end of our webinar. So I would like to bring your attention to this last slide Lani has up. Notice there's an email there for Emily. Emily is the person that you will receive an email from in a few days. She's going to provide for you a link to this video that we recorded. If you showed up a little late, don't worry, we recorded this for you. And also she will share with you the PowerPoint slides from Lani. And you can reach out to Emily if you'd like to meet with Lani. If you are in the Trinity, the Shasta or Trinity counties, you can meet with Lani. So there's also the ability, can you run back to that last slide?
Sorry.
That's okay. For you to find an SBDC office in your area. If you're in the US, you're not in one of our counties that we support, there is an SBDC in your location. And notice that link at the bottom of the screen, you can find the SBDC that supports you. And all the different SBDC locations have advisors covering a lot of different topics, and they can partner one with you. And you don't have to pay for those services because your tax dollars already have. So thank you so much for joining us. We're glad that you're here, and I will let Lani wrap up for us.
Thank you, Linda, as always, for doing such a great job hosting this. And thank you to all of the small businesses out there. I know you're working hard, and it's been a tough year for all of us. And I'm looking forward to 2021 as much as anybody else. So I'm very grateful that I've had the opportunity to work for the Small Business Development Centers, and have a wonderful Thanksgiving.
Lani, I did think of one other thing in case people haven't noticed in the chat. I did post a link to our survey. We love to hear what you think of these webinars, because we want to show our funders how we're spending their money and what our attendees think. And we also want to know what are the other topics you would love for us to cover, because we really want to present what you're asking for. And the beauty of that with these webinars, you don't have to be one of our serving counties. We would just love to serve you no matter where you're located. So do check out the chat, click on that link. And if for some reason that isn't an option for you right now, don't worry, that link will also be in the follow-up email from Emily. We truly are done this time, Lani. I'll give you the last word.
Okay, no, that's good. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, we'll see you next time.